Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Tandra and today we're going to do another Tarot Pick-a-Pile card reading, and this is going to be on the next 2 weeks. Now this reading is timeless, so it should apply whenever you run across the video and decide to watch it. So you don't need to worry about that. It'll just be your next 2 weeks coming forward. Now if you're unfamiliar with pick-a-pile readings, basically we have 3 different piles to choose from here. And we put a little symbol with each one to maybe help you choose which pile you'd like to see. This first one has a unicorn, the second one has a pirate monkey, and the third one has an alligator sunning kind of out in the sun there. Alright, so we have 3 different piles, and it's best to go with your gut instinct, whichever one attracts you the most by your actual instinct, not just by eye or what you like the best or that kind of thing. If you're having trouble deciding, you can close your eyes for a moment, and then when you open them back up, whichever one your eye automatically goes to or whatever number you hear in your head, that could work for you. Or you could put the numbers out on a piece of paper, shuffle them up, and then pick one, ask the universe to help you know which pile is the right one for you. It is possible to be drawn to more than one pile, and if that is the case, you can watch more than one. Sometimes there are messages for specific people in certain piles, so sometimes that does happen. There will be links in the description that will lead you directly to your pile when you're ready to watch it. I would like to invite you all to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you all feel compelled at all to give any kind of donation, those are always welcome. There'll be a link in the description to PayPal for that. And we're going to give you a moment or so to reflect on these piles, and then we will see you at your reading. Hello, Pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose this adorable little unicorn here. Remember, this is for your next 2 weeks. This is the general energies that you're going to be dealing with, or what kind of situations that might come up, or the things that you might be thinking about throughout the next 2 weeks. We do have our tarot cards that we're going to look at. We also have our charms that we're going to do as well, and our oracle spheres. So you can be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you can get an answer to, because we're going to do that here in a little bit as well. All right, let's get started and see what we've got. We've got the number 2 clover. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, the Strength card, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the 7 of Cups again, that's interesting, and then the Knight of Cups. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Whew, I think... Okay, just give me a moment here to reflect on this just a minute. I want to... I'm getting some muddled things coming through here, and I want to make sure that I'm thinking through this correctly. Because it's interesting. There's almost like 2 different energies going on here. I think that's why everything's coming up kind of muddled here. I like that we have the 2 different knights. The knights are awesome. Knights give us strength, courage. They can go out and fight our battles for us. They bring back good rewards from the battles, that kind of thing. So I really like having the knights available here. They can also mean specific people that you might be dealing with in your life as well. So we can talk about that in a minute. But the swords energy that I've got going on here has me slightly wondering if you feel like you're going to have to battle for something, or at least face your fears, maybe, because we do have the Strength card, and we have the Seven of Cups twice. And when that showed up, I immediately was thinking of worries or being afraid of what is coming your way, what's coming down the pike, especially with these two particular ones. Sometimes the Seven of Cups shows up and it's full of wonderful things, and uh, there's all kinds of really awesome things that pretty much everybody would want in them. But these two particular cards are filled with a little bit of some and a little bit of another. So I feel like either you guys are worried about some sort of outcome of something, some sort of fight or battle, or there's going to be some strife and some other things that I think you're a little worried about, or there's going to be some things that aren't necessarily really super thrilling during your 2 weeks at first, or at least part of it is going to be kind of, like I said, I really feel like there is some sort of fighting or strife going on a little bit. It's interesting how this Five of Swords card, these two people are turned away, they're kind of crying, and then this person's kind of looking back almost forlorn, like they were really not happy that they had to fight them, like almost like they were losing friends. They're gathering up all of the swords here, but it was almost like they didn't like the cost of the victory, like what it took to get there. And I'm afraid that you guys are either worried about something like that, because the Seven of Cups energy often deals a lot with our worries, like what we might feel like we're manifesting, or at least what is possible to be manifesting. Seven's a very spiritual card. And this could just be kind of karmic instances or things that, we think that maybe we have manifested into our lives for some reason. But I do feel like you guys might either be worrying about this kind of strife or arguments that you're going to be having, or, some difficulties that way, that you're worried about some of that stuff and you're just not sure of the outcome, or you're afraid of the cost. I tell you what I'm getting specifically, and this might help you all out some, is there's an old saying that for a married couple, that, and I do feel like this might be a lot to do with your home life, by the way, but there is a saying for a married couple that the person who's thought they've won a fight has actually lost it. And that's kind of the energy I'm getting here, is that if there is some fighting going on, or some conflicts, or some strife, or some things that you're not agreeing on in some way, shape, or form, that pushing for your particular stance on it, it may be a Pyrrhic victory. It may not be worth what the victory that you got, what you get back out of it may not have been worth the conflict. Okay, so that's kind of the energy I'm seeing and getting there. But I also see along here too, and the reason why I had some muddled visions is I also see some kind of the Two of Clover is kind of a luck card. It's the Six of Diamonds. It's kind of having some good fortune coming your way, or having enough things in your life that you can give out to others, and that kind of thing. So I feel like there is some good things coming. Okay, I do feel like there's some good stuff coming your way. It's going to be kind of a mixed bag, I guess. Kind of a 2 weeks. It's kind of a little bit of one thing and a little bit of another. But I also have the Queen of Pentacles here, and this card in particular, you see the two cuddled up together, which is interesting for a queen card, because usually it's the queen by herself. She's standing on her own. She's whatever. And since I'm kind of seeing this kind of strife go on, I also maybe see, we've got the Strength card with the wolf as well. I almost see that this might strengthen your bond after you get over the initial problems and other things that the strife may cause. Okay, so if that makes any sense, I really feel like I think it's going to be very relationship focused. I really feel like this pretty much is a lot with your relationship. It could have to do with money because sometimes fights deal with money. And since I did see some maybe good luck, good fortune, we do have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Both of those, the Cups is an emotional card. The Pentacles is kind of a money, earthly, finances, businesses sort of energy as well. And having both of them is interesting because I can almost see, both of these things coming to you, coming to you in a good way that, they'll be coming back from the battle and from the victory to give you both emotional and maybe even some financial happiness during the 2 weeks. So I do feel like whatever this strife, whatever this conflict kind of is, it is going to dominate some of the 2 weeks. It is going to give you some worries. Like I said, some people might even turn away from you temporarily, but I don't see it as lasting. I do see maybe a strengthening of bonds. We do have the Ace of Swords as well, and that's a new beginning and a new start. And it could be the start of conflicts. That is a possibility. This could be the beginning of conflicts. This may not be something that has been brewing for a while, but it also could be a new start to the relationship, that maybe once this conflict has kind of come out and kind of worked its way through, you've now got the opportunity to have a new start and have this kind of closeness that you can get. The Queen of Pentacles is really awesome. She's very generous. She's caring. She's sensible. And she is a homebody, and that's kind of the other reason why I was thinking of it being kind of an emotional relationship as well, because the Cups energy deals with that a lot. And it's interesting that you got this particular Queen of Cups with the symbolism on it, because I really feel like your family is going to play a big part in these 2 weeks. And there is going to be some luck, some happiness coming your way with the clovers here as well. Okay, this could also deal with children. In some ways, the fighting you're having is with a child and not a partner or a spouse. But I do think that even with those conflicts, it's still going to grow into a much stronger, more caring type of thing. It just may dominate a lot of the 2 weeks. Okay, let's look at our charms. Let's see if we have any other clarifiers here or anything else that might help you. Now, don't forget, these are just general energies, and we can sometimes being forewarned is forearmed. So if you know that there might be some strife or some conflicts coming, maybe you can kind of mitigate those a little bit or kind of calm those down some and not let your worst fears manifest themselves or the worst things come to light. So, that's kind of something I kind of see as being really important here. It may not have to turn out to be quite as bad as you think it might or as it could. Okay, so keep that in mind too. All right, we're going to go ahead and get our charms, and then we'll do our oracle sphere, so you can be thinking of the yes/no type of question that you'd like an answer to. All right, let's see what messages and clarifiers we can have coming from our charms. Okay. This was off to the side. I'm going to put that over there. Okay. We do have the money bag symbol, so that is a good fortunate omen that goes along with the clover. You could have some prosperity coming your way, some good things financially coming your way this week. I do see the brave here, so there might be something that's going to require you to have strength and be brave, stick up for yourself, stick to your guns kind of energy. I do see that. Okay, we do have the Tree of Life and the Home Sweet Home. So I do really feel like your family, offspring, children, grandchildren, spouses, other people like that are going to figure in. We do have the 5, which is kind of a conflict number. It is dealing with that. So, I think that's just kind of reinforcing, because we also have the 5 of Wands here as well as the 7 of Swords. So all of those are kind of conflict oriented, or at least, possibly having to deal with some of that. Okay, but like I said, I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be permanent or long lasting or anything like that, especially since now that you know about it, you can do something about that. Okay, we do have some letters here. Let's see if we can form any words or if there's any other really important letters that might come forward here. We have a C, an a W, a J, another W, an L, an H, and a U. Okay, so there are some words that can come up there. I saw jaw. Um, so when I think of jaw like that, I might think, you might have to kind of, keep your chin up kind of attitude. I also saw uh, things like wall, even though there's not two L's, so there might be a wall or a barrier that you might have to deal with there. But basically, these might spell out specific things for you. If you spell out any specific words that you think might be useful, hey, put them in the description. Somebody else might get some good things coming from them. The letters are C, W, U, W, H, J, L, A. Okay? Now, we do have a few other cards here. We do have the 8 of clubs, the 3 of clubs, and the 2 of clubs. Now, all of these, the clubs are the wands energies, and you also have the 5 up there as well. And the wands deal with passions and fiery passions. And since we might be dealing with some conflicts this week, that makes sense that you would have so many wands cards show up. But it is interesting, though, the ones that you got, because the 2 of wands often is, looking out and kind of clearing their head, figuring out where to go next, that kind of thing. But also 2s are coming together energy, and I see lots of that kind of energy in the reading as well. So I think that might stand to be kind of important for you there. The 3, oh gosh, we have a 6 of clubs here too. Wow, that's okay. You have lots of wands energy, so there is going to be some conflicts that you're dealing with, and passionate energies. May not, there are going to be at least some fiery tensions going on. Okay. It's not necessarily a bad thing, or it may not be a bad thing. So, remember that sometimes when, people's, tempers are up or their passions are up, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a really bad thing. But like I was saying earlier, you had the 3, and 3s are creative energies, but they're also coming together in groups and in families and that kind of thing. You have the 6 of wands and the 8. Those can deal with, kind of, I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. 6s are kind of a harmonious type of energy. 8 deals a lot sometimes with success and other things, and I did see some of that success things going on other ways. It's also kind of getting towards the ending of this energy a little bit, getting towards the 8. The 8s are a little bit more stable, getting a little bit more quite there. Oh, we also have a Y over here, guys. I didn't see that. Sorry. That Y could mean something. All right. We have the live in the moment. I always love that one. And the young and strong. It's interesting how you have the young and strong and the strength card. So I think it's, you're going to just be required to kind of hold your own and have some strength over the next couple of weeks because of these fiery passions and energies you've got going on. But we do have the confident kitty here. And we have the fox. And we have the pouncing kitty. So it's kind of somebody taking charge. And the bulldog. And so all of those things, to me, denote sticking to your guns, being smart. Okay, but like I said, don't get the Pyrrhic victory that we were talking about earlier. Don't fight just for the sake of the argument. Or don't think just because you won the argument that you really won the battle, because you may not have. I do think it is important to be strong during all of this, and so don't get me wrong, because that message is coming through extraordinarily clear. But I really feel like for some of you guys, it's really important for you to, yes, be strong, yes, stick up for what you believe is right and what you think is really important, but also don't take the fight to places it doesn't need to go. Okay, so hopefully that's some good advice there for you guys. We do have the miracle, which I really like, which means something really good is coming your way over these 2 weeks. I really don't know what it is. It could be financially oriented because of the money bags and the clover. So we'll go with that for most of you guys. I feel like that's probably where that's going for most of you. We also have the butterfly, which is kind of a wonderful freedom, letting loose kind of energy, which I really feel like by the end of the 2 weeks, you guys are going to feel a lot more free, which is really good. And we also have the elephant. Elephants are very intelligent. They're very smart. They don't forget, though. They kind of hold a grudge. And so I almost see this elephant as kind of a warning not to hold a grudge against whoever you've been fighting with or whatever conflicts you're going to end up dealing with during this, because that will just keep causing rifts and problems. And I really feel like that's probably not where you guys want to go with this. I think holding a grudge would be a really big mistake, okay? And it's interesting how I kind of got that from the elephant. I feel like that's a message that came through that you all really needed to hear. I think that's kind of the Five of Swords energy coming through that we were talking about earlier. So hopefully those were some good messages for you, and hopefully you can do something with that for the 2 weeks. Now, let's go ahead and get our oracle spheres here. Basically, you ask a yes or no type of question that you would like to get an answer to, and then we have 4 different stands that those answers can appear on. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, green, bronze, red, and gray. You can pick by color, by number, by where it looks like, on the plate, however you want to do, but you pick whichever stand you would like your answer to appear on, and then we're going to get our answers. Alrighty. Taking a minute. Number 1, green. Answer for stand number 1, green. The answer is maybe. So it took a long time to get them. I'm not sure. Okay, we got number 2, bronze is a not likely. Oop. Number 3, red is a not likely. And a number 4, gray is a no. Okay, very definite kind of thing. All right, so we have number 1, green, maybe. Number 2, bronze, not likely. Number 3, red, or not likely again, sorry. And number 4, gray is a no. So there's the answers to our oracle spheres. Now remember, guys, that these are general readings, and if things didn't resonate with you for any reason, or whatever, maybe this wasn't the right reading for you, and keep that in mind, because I know sometimes when people get these readings and they don't like what they say, or they didn't feel right to them in some way, they're just like, oh, that was awful. Well, maybe it just wasn't your pile. So keep that in mind, okay, guys? Hey, if you like the reading or got some good value from the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave comments in the comments section. Those are very important to me, and I read them all, and they give me a lot of insight, which I really, really like. Check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of timeless tarot readings on lots of different topics that might be of interest. If reading tarot cards is something of interest for you, we have a series on how to do that. We also have flip-throughs of the different card decks, so you can see the symbolisms on those. We are starting a new series coming up in the near future where we're going to do rune readings with the oracle spheres, and also numerology involved with that. So those might be some readings you might want to check out when we start doing those. Don't forget to share these videos with your friends and family, because they might get some value out of them as well, and we really appreciate it. All of those things that you can do for us help the channel grow, and it's greatly appreciated. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps them decide to share our video with other people. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you again in future readings, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the cute pirate monkey here. Let's see what kind of energies you got going for the next 2 weeks. We have our tarot cards. We're also going to do our charms reading along with this, as well as our oracle spheres. So you could be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you'd like an answer to. Then we'll do that later on in the reading. So let's see what we've got going. Oh, we got number 18, dog. We've got the Hierophant, the Five of Swords, the Lovers. Huh. Okay, interesting. The Two of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the King of Swords. Running out of room on my... I'm going to back this up just a smidge, see if I can get you guys a little bit more visual. Okay. And the Queen of Wands. Okay. Whew. I'm getting some of the same energies from the last reading, but I don't think they're quite as intense as the last one. So give me just a second. I want to see if there's... I want to make sure it's not residual energy coming through or something crazy there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, some of the energies are similar, but not as intense. I think that there might be some slight conflicts, probably early on, and probably with a partner. Could be financial partner, could be a life partner, or something like that. But what's interesting about this, and what I like, in the last reading, I know you guys probably didn't watch it, but it got pretty intense with some of the conflicts and the fights and the other things that might go on. And this one is a little bit more muted. It's more like, okay, there might be some, bickering and some other things going on with this Five of Swords. And maybe even somebody feeling like, they got one over on the other people. But you have so many other cards that show a coming together, getting over these kinds of conflicts and making the better use out of them. And one of the things that I think is going to help in this is your intuition. Okay? That's something that I'm thinking will be very helpful if you use your intuition to help guide you with these conflicts and with other things. I think your intuition is going to come very important during these 2 weeks. That will help bring you closer together. It'll help resolve some of these conflicts, some of these other things that may happen. We have the dog energy. Excuse me. And it's interesting because it's the number 18, but that reduces down to a 9, and you have the 9 of Pentacles, which the 9 of Pentacles is very much an intuition type of energy. So I feel like, that 9 is kind of important. It's also kind of a completion, or getting towards completion. It's not quite the 10, but it's almost there. But we do have the 10 on the card, which is the 10 of Hearts, which is ultimate emotional, familial type of happiness, or getting all of the happiness. And we also have the Ace of Cups. Aces are oftentimes new beginnings, but the Ace of Cups also shows kind of that overflowing, regenerating type of emotional happiness. That's just kind of always there because it just flows. It's kind of like a chocolate fountain or something where, it goes down and it goes back up again and it goes down. It's kind of renewing kind of energy. So the dog card also deals a lot with loyalty and partnership and trust and forming that kind of bond. And because you also have the Lovers card and the Two of Cups, those are very much those kind of energies as well. That's a very much kind of the bringing together. And it's interesting too, this particular Lovers card has a wolf and, like Red Riding Hood type of symbolism. So it's bringing almost like opposites together, or things that probably shouldn't necessarily be happy together, and bringing them together. And you also have the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. And that's kind of that energy, that dual energy going on as well, because you have the King of one suit and a Queen of a different suit. And both of these suits can be very passionate about what they're doing. But the Queen is a lot more intuitive and has a lot more intuitive nature than the Swords suit. The Swords is a little bit more, thinking with their head, not their heart kind of thing. The wands deals more with their passions and emotions and spirit and, being impulsive and all those kinds of things. So, they have almost the opposite kind of thing. And so I feel like maybe your partner or the person that maybe some of this conflict might be having, you kind of might be a little bit like water and oil a lot of times, where you don't feel like you're always going in the same direction, or you're always thinking of the same things, and that might cause some of the conflicts in the relationship. But what's interesting is a lot of times those kinds of things, which is a little bit of effort, can actually mix and get together and become very wonderful partnership. The best partnership in the world. Okay, dogs originally came from wolves, and they're kind of not so great together, wolves and man, if you can think about it. But when they found out the mutual benefits they could have for each other, then you have this very strong bond between dogs and man, and a wonderful partnership is formed throughout these hundreds and thousands of years that they've formed together. And so it's kind of that energy where I feel like emotions might run a little high. There might be some conflicts. You've got this energy of dealing with, the opposites, somebody who doesn't always think the way you do or isn't always. But it's great because I see this wonderful partnership forming and this great bond coming from this. And so that's really important. And so I really think that that's something you should take from this. But I do think your relationship is going to be something of focus during the 2 weeks. I think it's going to strengthen your bond with your partner, whoever that happens to be, or meeting and gaining a new partner if you don't have one might be something of a focus. And it might even be somebody that at first, now I'm getting things in my head of like a lot of typical romantic comedies out there where you get two people who first meet each other and they don't like each other for whatever reason. They've ran into each other, or somebody's more rude than they want to be, or whatever reason. They get thrown together and they don't like each other, but then throughout the movie they end up getting closer and closer and falling in love. So I almost get that energy. So for some of you guys that are single, that might be something that happens. Maybe somebody that you're always kind of fighting and fussing with, or maybe somebody you meet that at first you don't feel very happy or comfortable with, and you have that. Maybe you guys are going to get together. But if you're with somebody, like I said, you might be focusing on strengthening your bonds over the next 2 weeks and bringing that together. So that's kind of the energy I'm kind of seeing for you guys. We do have some charms, so we might get some other messages or energies, and then we will do our oracle spheres as well, so we can be getting an answer to our yes/no question. All right. See what kind of energies we've got with our charms. Okay. We do have a few letters that might be important here. We got an H, an N, a P, an M. Lots of consonants. That's interesting. Oh, there's an A. And an L, an F, and another N. So let's see if I can think of any words right off the top of the bat here that might be useful. Sorry about that. Okay. I got an LAM, which made me think of lamb for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was because of the dog energy and how, they herd sheep together. Also fam, so family, I do think can be kind of important here. Also got ham out of it, so I almost think, like I said, somebody might be kind of arrogant here. We also have the word Pam for any of you guys that know any Pams or whatever. Normally I'm not that specific with names, but for some reason that came out at me, so that might be something. There could be lots of letters and words that you can form here, so I'm going to go ahead and read them out to you guys so you guys can form whatever comes to mind for you guys when you hear them, and then that way you can come up with some words. And hey, if you come up with some good ones, you can leave them in the comments section. That way other people who get them can see them too. But we have 2 N's, an F and an L, a PH, and an A and an M. Okay, so that might give you some ideas of what to do there. Let's see, we have the Ace of Hearts and the Ace of Clubs. This is new beginnings. We have the Ace of Cups again. Okay, that's what that is. And so I think that's really important, that there might be this new beginning going on, this new relationship starting, this new beginning thing. So the energy I was getting when I was talking about meeting somebody new or whatever, that's coming through kind of strong for quite a few of you here. So if you're not with somebody, I think that might be something that you're going to be dealing with. But we do have the passionate energy of the clubs card as well, because that is a wand. It's a very fiery, passionate energy. But that could be good too, because that could mean it could be a very passionate relationship. So if you think about that, that could be interesting. We do have the Ten of Cups cards again, which is great. Because that showed up on the dog card here. So I do think this can be a wonderful partnership, whatever this is. So strengthening the partnership you already have, or the new one maybe coming forward. I really feel like that's, something definitely could be going on here. We do have the 7 and the 8 of Swords. Now, the Swords energy deals a lot with our fears, our worries, things that we're not real sure about. But they can also be good. It may not always be our fears and our worries. For instance, the 7 of Swords could deal with the truth being revealed about something, and that can be kind of important. Also, the 8 of Swords can be freedom and release from something. So, that could be a good thing. Also, gaining control of a situation can be kind of important here too. And we do have the fearless that kind of goes along with that. So I think it might be kind of important to be kind of fearless. Go for it. Do that. We do have she believed she could, so she did. And we have the Make-A-Wish charm. So those are wonderful energies, and we did talk about your intuition as well, which we do have the moon, the winged moon heart, or winged moon here. And to me, and we also have the dream. So we have dream and believing in your dreams and going forward with that. And so that's kind of really important for you to do that, because, following your dreams, if or believing that you can, because maybe, like I said, I think this is very relationship oriented, and maybe some of y'all don't feel like you can get into a good relationship, or that you can forge a better relationship with who you have. But I see a lot of, we have the dream and Make-A-Wish and believing so you can. We have, even sheep kind of deal with dreaming some, because you think of doing sheep at night. And we have the tennis rackets. So that is a couple thing, that is bringing together a couple. Okay. It's interesting how we have the sheep again, since I saw a lamb up there. Don't be the sheep. Don't, hide back from this. So, be confident. We've got the confident kitty. We've got the wonderful unicorn energy, which can show magical things happening, believe in things that could happen. And the butterfly also denotes that, kind of coming out of your shell, going forward and being that free butterfly. We talked about freedom a little bit with the card up there, but I see, be the beautiful butterfly and all that. So if you've been holding back on, going out and getting in any kind of relationships because, of your fears or your worries, now's the time to kind of let that go and kind of go for that. Okay. So that's kind of the energies we've got going there. Let's see what else we have with our oracle spheres here. Basically, if you asked a yes or no type of question, and then we have 4 different stands that your answer can appear on. We have 1 bronze, 2 green, 3 gray, and number 4 is red. So you can pick by number, by color, where it's at on the table, wherever you want to do, but pick one for your answer to appear on, and then we'll go ahead and get our answers. All right, number 1, bronze, is a not likely. Number 2, green, is another not likely. It hasn't been showing up a lot today. We have a number 3, gray, is probable. And number 4, red, is a very likely. Okay. So we have a number 1, bronze, number 2, green, number 3, gray, is probable. Number 2, green, was not likely. Number 4, red, is very likely. Okay, guys, now remember, these are just general readings, so for any reason this doesn't resonate with you, or, go, no, that just can't be right at all, that's fine. Maybe this reading wasn't specifically for you, or especially if you had trouble picking a pile or whatever. So kind of just keep that in mind, okay? But hopefully you got some good messages out of it. Hopefully you have some, good things to help you move forward for the next couple of weeks. I hope you have a wonderful time the next 2 weeks, and I hope your partnership does strengthen like we've seen here. That would be awesome. Okay, guys, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me comments in the comments section. I love those greatly. I read them all, and I'm very appreciative of those. Also, share this video with your friends and family. Put it out there on all the different social medias. Let them check out the channel. We might have some good messages for them as well. All of those things help the channel grow. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and so that's why we ask for it, and we really, really appreciate it. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of timeless tarot readings on lots of different topics that might be of use to you. If you are interested in reading tarot cards, we have a series on how to do that. We have flip-throughs of the different card decks. And also coming up in the near future, we're going to do some other weekly readings that are going to deal with runes and the oracle spheres and some numbers as well, lucky numbers. So that might be of interest to you to check those out when those start posting. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading, those of you that chose the wonderful sunning alligator here. All right, let's find out what your next 2 weeks is going to be like, what kind of energies you're going to be dealing with, or the things you might expect. We do have our charms that we will look at here in just a little bit, as well as our oracle spheres, so you can be thinking of a yes or no type of question, and we'll go ahead and get those too. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got Mountain number 21. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. The Knight of Cups. The 5 of Cups. The Hermit. The 10 of Swords, the Fool, okay, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Wands. Wow, okay, I think I know some of, okay, let me think. I got stuff kind of bombarding me here. This is interesting. I feel like okay. This could be the energy for the early part of the 2 weeks, but I really feel like it's kind of an energy you're already in. And then it might carry over into the next 2 weeks for a little bit. But I do think it is coming to an end. And the energy I'm talking about is, I feel like you guys have been climbing a mountain. You've been trying to get past some hurdles, some delays, some obstacles, waiting on things. Maybe there's been some losses, financially especially. I feel like this might be financial. It could be emotional as well, but I do feel like finances are appearing heavily on this. Like maybe you lost a job recently, or you've had a lot of cut in your wages, or some other things like that may have happened. And because you do have the hoarding energy of the 4 of Pentacles, that's usually feeling like there's a lack, or having to worry about having enough. And we do have the Mountain, which is kind of climbing the mountain. It's kind of getting through these obstacles, getting past this so you can get to the valley below. We do have that. We also have, the Hermit, which is kind of a contemplative energy, kind of pulling back in yourself. And that kind of is the overcoming of the obstacle energy for me as well. So I feel like, because we also have the 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords is kind of that you have been beaten down kind of energy, or you've may have to worry about you've had a lot of things thrown at you. But being the 10, I often see the 10 of Swords as it's time for the new start now. All of these things that have been going on and that you've been dealing with and have been something that you've had to worry about and something that's been going on is now coming to a close because it's the 10. We're now finished with all of that and we're able to move on. And this particular 10 of Swords is really nice too, because it's got the stars. It's a little bit more, it's not showing the typical swords all beaten down into somebody and them not being able to get up anymore and being totally done. So I see this more as, these are kind of up in the air. They're kind of being uplifted. You're kind of being uplifted. And I kind of see that with some of these other energies we have here as well. With the Hermit and the Three of Wands, the Three of Wands is a very much, you notice how that looks like they've either been on a journey or getting ready to go out on a journey, or they're at least contemplating their next move and where to go next. And the Hermit energy has a lot of that going on as well. So if you've been kind of climbing a mountain or had delays or obstacles or other things in your way, because that's really what this means. The 10 of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, all these kind of show that kind of energy. With that going on, I feel like there's going to be a lot of contemplation, a lot of figuring out where you're going to go next, what your next move should be, how you're going to move forward. What's nice is we do have the Fool energy, which is basically kind of getting out of this contemplative mode, figuring out your next steps, your next things. We have the Knight of Cups, and that's a wonderful emotional energy. The Knights are great. I love the Knights. But the Knight of Cups, he kind of symbolizes Prince Charming a little bit. He's idealistic. He's artistic. Okay. Kind of energies going on. He's kind of got that, renewed energy flowing for him. And with him coming in your reading, it makes me feel like that emotional kind of happiness that you can get from the Cups energy can be brought to you now. That basically he's coming back from this battle and he's going to be bringing you the spoils of war and this Cups energy. For those of you that this isn't financially related, there could also be some relationship things going on that maybe, this 10 of Swords energy and all has to do with relationship more than finances, because we do have the 5 of Cups energy, which can be boredom. It can be not knowing exactly what is out there for us, or not noticing things that are there, or just noticing the things that haven't been really good. And that might be the energy you're in with anything. It could be your finances as well, because if you had lost your job, or if you had, had other things that, made you had to kind of be in this contemplative mode, you could be bored with that. Definitely, for sure. And you could be ready to finally go out and feel free and kind of do your own thing and take your new next step, your new next journey. I think by the end of the 2 weeks that is definitely kind of the energy you're going to be going on, because we do have the 10 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles is kind of that completion. If you've lost your job, maybe you're going to find a new one, or maybe you're going to decide to start your own business, do something creative that way, because, we do have that energy a little bit going on here with the Wands card. But I do feel like things are going to start to turn around. These obstacles are going to lessen. Things are going to get a little bit easier by doing the contemplation, by being in this other mode, by thinking of your next step and your next move. You're going to be able to go out on your next adventure and stuff. So that's kind of the focus that the 2 weeks kind of has, is kind of overcoming obstacles, overcoming delays, overcoming problems, coming up with the new path forward. And that's kind of what your 2 weeks is going to entail, is kind of getting you in that energy. Let's go ahead and look at our charms. There may be some other messages or some clarifying things that will be useful to us. And then we also have our oracle spheres, where you can ask your yes or no type of question and get an answer. Okay, so let's get our charms and see what else you might be dealing with or we've got going on. Okay, we do have the Chariot here. I like that because it shows moving forward in your journey. That denotes You notice how, it's a nice, roadster, so you're able to actually move forward and move on. So the obstacles and the other things that have been kind of holding you back um, aren't going to last. You're going to be able to keep going forward. We do have an MP, which I think of police when I think of that. So I'm not sure what that might have to do with anything, but we'll just go with that. And we also have a Y. Those might be initials or mean something specifically to you, so you can kind of be thinking about that. We do have some other energies that do show a little bit more dealing with partnerships and those kinds of things. So for some of you, this might have to deal with a love relationship and a love partnership. Sometimes the charms will do that. It'll cover things that the cards don't. And I kind of see that that's what's happening here a little bit, because we have the heart with the two coming together here. We have this heart. We have this love symbol. So all of those things to me show that for those of you that have had some obstacles in your love relationship or in your partnership, or something going on there, that that might be something that that you might be able to work through and come out. Because we also have the Two of Cups here, and the Two of Cups energy is very much coming together, forming that bond kind of energy. And we did have a king and queen here, or two kings, sorry. We have the King of Hearts and the King of Spades. So, the King of Spades is a little bit more authoritarian. He's a little bit more kind of disciplined. He's serious. He's strict. He's kind of that. But then we got the King of Hearts, which is almost, the opposite, where he's wise, he's diplomatic, he is a good counselor, advisor kind of attitude. So by getting both of those, I feel like one might show kind of the conflicts, the other things that you'll have to go through, and then the other one shows where you can come out on the other side when you get there. It's just kind of, the energy I got from that when I saw it. Now, I did talk a little bit about your imagination earlier in the reading, and I do think that might be a little bit important, because we do have the balloons here and the word imagine. And also the comb often denotes to me seeing the inner beauty, or seeing what could be. Because if you're let's just give a weird example. Your hair needs combed, and then you style it and you comb it and you make it and you transform it and you make it look a certain way that it didn't look before. And so it's kind of just this finding what something can be like, and how it can come out, and also grooming things and working on things and improving them and making them better. So that's kind of what I get from that. We do have a helping hand, so you might get a helping hand over the couple of weeks. Now we do have the skull and crossbones. That's usually a warning sign. There could be dangers ahead, or some pitfalls and some other things, and that makes perfect sense, because that goes along with the mountain energy, that there might be some delays and some obstacles and some other things kind of in your way that you have to work through during the 2 weeks. But just know that you can work your way through those obstacles, because we do have all these other energies. You do have the key, so you have the key to move forward and go on and go through the door. We have the lone wolf energy, which I think of in this case as kind of going along with the Hermit card, and also your intuition, because I feel like, or your creativity anyway, not so much your intuition, but your creativity. I do feel like you can be pretty creative during these 2 weeks, especially in solving your solutions. And wolves have kind of a natural instinct for things, and I feel like you might be able to use your natural instincts to get out of some of these things. We also, I always love getting this shell with the pearl inside, because I always think of hidden treasures, finding things that you didn't expect by just digging a little deeper and looking a little farther down. And so I feel like with this energy that we were talking about with the Three of Wands and the Hermit, and looking and kind of meditating and looking inside yourself and doing those kind of things, I think you're going to notice some hidden treasures, some hidden beauty, some, hidden talents maybe, some other things there that you didn't know about. I kind of feel like that's, kind of where you can go. So definitely the Hermit energy and the Three of Wands and those kind of energies that you're going to have going on before you go on the Fool's Journey, before you go forward in your next, big adventure. You're going to be able to find out something about yourself that you didn't know. Some hidden talent, some hidden beauty, some hidden, things there that you're going to be able to drag that up out of yourself that you didn't know. And so then you're going to be able to go on your journey here. So I think that's going to be really cool. Okay, we have our oracle spheres here, and basically what we do with that is you have your yes or no type of question that you would like an answer to, and we have 4 different stands that your answers can come out on. We have number 1 green, number 2 bronze, number 3 red, and number 4 gray. So you pick whichever one you would like your answer to appear on. You can go by number, color, whatever strikes you, whatever you want to do there, and then we will get our answers. Alright, so we have the number 1 green is a maybe. Oh, goodness. Well, we got something there. Okay, number 2 bronze is a not likely. Number 3 red is a no. And number 4 gray is a probable. Okay, so number 1 green is maybe, number 2 bronze is not likely, number 3 red is no, and number 4 gray is probable. Okay, guys, remember these are just general readings, and so if for some reason this stuff did not resonate with you, maybe it just wasn't your particular reading that you should watch or your particular pile. That does happen sometimes. But hopefully there was some good messages here that would be useful to you for the 2 weeks and help you get along your 2 weeks as they go forward here. If you like the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and share with all your friends and family. Share the channel with them. That way maybe they can get some messages that might be useful for them. Leave me comments in the comments section. Those are very important to me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. All of those things are really important to the channel and help us grow greatly. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that's why we're always asking for those things. But we very much appreciate it, so we do like it when you do that. Check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of timeless tarot readings on lots of different topics that might be of interest to you. We also have videos on how to read tarot cards if that is something of interest, as well as some videos on the different card decks so you can see what they look like. We are also starting a series coming up soon where we're going to do a weekly series that's going to have the oracle spheres, but it's also going to have runes and lucky numbers involved with those readings. So those might be something of interest to you to check out when we start posting those. Alright guys, we look forward to seeing you in future readings, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.